The S&B Cold Air that we have on the table today would be a great choice for the 2018 through 2023 3.5 liter EcoBoost F-150 owners who might be after a very high quality sealed enclosure option along with the dry filter that can be had at a very affordable price point. Now the S&B will feature that durable ABS plastic build throughout here. Again, that reusable high flow dry filter, and will not require the use of any custom or can tuning. Price point for the 5-star rated option will live right around $400 give or take, and it is backed by S&B's signature million-mile warranty. Now, as far as some of your features are concerned here with the S&B, well, a couple jump right out at me. First and foremost, guys, as we mentioned earlier, you are getting a sealed enclosure here with this particular system, and not any sealed enclosure, but one that has been designed and built very, very well. Now, sealed enclosures are always gonna get a big time recommendation for me when performance is number one. Why? Well, because they will be the best bet at reducing intake air temperatures under the hood for your EcoBoost platform, especially if the truck lives in a warmer climate and does sit in a lot of traffic from time to time. Now, those open element filters or exposed filter systems, they certainly look great. They definitely sound awesome, right? You really tend to hear those systems. However, they can be more prone to heat soak because that filter is not enclosed in something like this. And that's why you get some of that hot engine bay in through the filter itself. And at times that can be a bit detrimental to performance. So again, if performance is number one here, guys, sealed enclosures such as this is always gonna be a great way to roll. Now, inside that sealed enclosure will be another feature here in my book, and that is one of S&B's signature dry filters here. This one is easily one of the largest in the category. Now, for reference sake, guys, S&B does offer the same exact kit with an oiled filter instead. But this one is dry. What is the difference? Well, general rule of thumb here is that oiled filters might flow a little better compared to a dry filter such as this. However, dry filters will capture more particles at the end of the day. So it really just boils down to what you want to do. Both are going to do a great job, not only protecting your EcoBoost, but also outflowing the cheap paper element filter that comes from Ford. Now, rounding out our list of features here with something like this, obviously we talked airbox, we talked filter. A more modified underhood appearance is a biggie. Certainly gonna look a lot cooler whenever you pop the hood of your truck when compared to the factory airbox. But let's be honest, a lot of us truck owners are looking into something like this because we want more power. How does it do this? Well, S&B claims this intake will outperform the stocker by over 50%. So right there, that tells you some gains should be expected when making the swap. I also want to point out that some owners have talked about maybe noticing an increased throttle response here with your truck after the install, and even in some rare cases, some increases in fuel economy as well. But most truck owners out there want to feel the benefits of something like this behind the wheel. Chances are you get a heavy right foot, and any gains that you might see for fuel economy will quickly be gone. But now let's move into the construction portion of our video. Kit is pretty simple for the most part. We'll talk more about some of the other components of the kit. I do just want to go back to the airbox real quick here, guys. Super, super nice quality, molded airbox. You have the S&B logo pressed in. I like how they molded into the box itself, that snorkel that takes all that fresh air from the front of the truck. But this is also kind of a best of both worlds type scenario here. We got the plexiglass little logo here. I like that because it allows you to easily keep an eye on the cleanliness of your filter without basically disassembling the entire intake. So dig that, but more importantly, and just kind of a cool factor here, is you can pop this off really easily, no tools whatsoever. It's held into place by a pretty thick rubber weather stripping. And at that point, you're getting kind of the, I would say, the only benefit of an exposed or open element filter intake, and that is going to be the increased noise, turbo noise, maybe even a little bit of blow-off valve noise with the EcoBoost truck. So if you want to maybe experiment with that for a little bit, just see what it's like, see if there's any difference, see if you really dig the noise. That's great, but if you wanted to go back to a full sealed enclosure, all you got to do is simply pop this guy back into place here with your rubber weather stripping, and you're good to go. So big fan of that. One of the only intakes really in the category that deliver this kind of design functionality. Definitely a big fan. Let's move into our intake tube here, guys. This is a roto-molded plastic tube. Big fan of the plastic stuff because ultimately I feel it just does a little bit better job at reducing heat soak when compared to metal tubes. And then finally, you are getting, of course, all of your couplers, clamps, hardware, all that good stuff to get the system in place. Finally, I do want to point out, I did mention it earlier, the system is backed by S&B's signature million-mile warranty, just in case you ever run into any issues. Price point for the S&B dry system here is going to live right around $400, give or take, which, believe it or not, is still one of the most affordable systems when considering a sealed enclosure such as this. Now, if you did want to shop around a bit, you'll see options from Roush, AFE, even Whipple. They will be a little bit more expensive at the end of the day. So again, if you really do value that sealed enclosure like this, and you want something a little bit more budget friendly, then this is certainly going to be a great option. But now we want to segue into the installation portion of our video. Site's going to go middle of the road, 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you, I would say, an hour at absolute most to complete from start to finish. Now, to give you a better idea of just how this one will go down on your EcoBoost at home, here's an American Trucks customer to walk you through it. Check it out.
So we're going to use our socket wrench, some extensions, a 7mm socket, an 8mm socket, and a 13mm socket.
So to remove the factory airbox as well as the tube, there are 3 clamps here, here, and down here, as well as 2 clips on the airbox here and here, and 2 Christmas tree clamps on the other side here and here. So you're going to need a 7mm socket as well as some extensions to especially reach this bottom one down here. So let's go ahead and do that.
So you're going to rotate the tube and take out the temperature sensor. And to do that, you just take it and you rotate it and you pull it out. And there you go. So you're going to have to transfer this sensor over to the new tube. By doing that, you just take it out of this. There you go. So now we have to remove the air box and the inlet. And to do this, we have to take these 2 little pieces out in the front. And then there's a 13mm bolt back here that we'll get with the 13mm socket. There's going to be another little Christmas tree clip here that holds onto the airbox. So just unclip that and put it aside. And then you can pull this whole thing out. So these are the 2 intakes. The old one is on the right and the new one is on the left. And as you can see, there's a lot of parts with the new one. And now we have to take the 13mm bolt and the little rubber washer from the old one and put it onto the new one. Next, we're going to take the primary rubber coupler as well as the largest metal clamp that's provided, and we're going to put it on the oval that's on the airbox. And then you're going to take the clamp, put it around. And then you're going to use a 8mm deep socket to tighten it. So next we're going to install this rubber cover. And to do that, you just push it over this side here. And you take these little rivets. One goes on the bottom. And that one goes on top. So next you're gonna install the rubber gaskets that are here, and then you're gonna put the respective clamps on them. The inner ones you can clamp down, but leave the outer clamps unclamped for now. And then the air intake sensor will either have a gasket here. If it's not here, it's in the bag, and then you can just put that on. So let's go ahead and put those clamps on. As you can see, we have the inner clamps installed and tightened down. Now you can take the outer clamps and put them on and just have them on for now. And then now let's go put this in the engine bay. Let's go install that air box. So just align the two pieces down here. Then we'll get that clip for the two clips and the 13mm screw in. So once you have the airbox in, you're going to take back your 13mm screw from the inside. And then use a 13mm socket to tighten it. And then there are two push pins that are included with the kit that you put in here, but for me it didn't work, so I'm just using my old ones. Next we're going to install the main intake tube. I recommend taking the clamps that were on the outside of the tube and putting them on the respective areas, so it's just easier and out of the way. It's also recommended to put WD-40 on the main intake piece, because there's quite a bit of a squeeze to put them in. Okay, once you have the tube in place, then you take the outer clamps and you tighten them down. So next you're going to install the sensor extension cable with the sensor. So what you're going to do is put the sensor inside the extension and then the extension into here. And you go to the rubber gasket that we put in earlier. Put it in.
Okay, so now that we got everything installed, now it's time to put in the air filter. Once you have that filter in place, you can start screwing it in with an 8mm socket.
Next, you're going to install the plexiglass cover, and in the package, the plexiglass will come separate with the rubber gasket. So what you do is you put the plexiglass inside the rubber gasket, and then you put the rubber gasket on the intake. And there you go.
All right, wrapping this one up here, guys. If you are looking for a highly rated, no tune required intake for that EcoBoost F-150 at home, definitely check out the S&B dry option available right here at AmericanTrucks.com.